MDM? Oh, I got to know more about it. Join me in Networking 101. Hey folks, thanks for joining me for another Networking 101. You know, today's Networking 101, we're going to focus on a pretty cool buzzword in the industry right now and see what kind of meat and taters we kind of have behind it. Well, when you're talking about a solution like MDM, mobile device management, you know, it gets kind of tricky because in any MDM solution, they're all going to have their own little quirks. So let's kind of start from the basics and then kind of work it up, and we'll see kind of where it's good and where it's kind of bad. So a couple things. What MDM does in a nutshell, it's a solution that detects. It's another like gate product that allows you to permit or deny based upon a certain set of criteria. So if I have an MDM solution, we'll just draw that with this big old blue square. We'll write MDM in here. And let's say that I've got like some tablets or some cell phones here. That's my cell phone design. Oh, that looks like a middle finger. We probably don't want that. So let's go ahead and erase that out. There we go. That's a little bit better. So now we actually have cell phones and tablets that are actually connecting up to this device. And realistically, I want to make sure that anything that connects up is a go or no-go decision, right? In the very old school MDM stuff. Now, MDM kind of came about in about 2004. It's about when we started looking at doing this type of stuff because people were starting to see a proliferation of these devices on the network. And so what we did was we said we want to be able to detect and go or no go. This device can or cannot be on here, right? And you know what? That worked pretty darn good. Then we actually kind of advanced in time a little bit, and we said, you know what? That's definitely pretty groovy. I like to be able to kind of permit or deny these devices on my network. But what I really would like to do is I'd like to be able to look at what kind of apps they have on here, right? And I want to be able to actually install apps and push policies down on here as well. But the trick is, on any MDM solution, is I really want to make sure that if I do this, that it's very efficient in how it's going to use and transfer that data, right? Because when I'm doing this over the air, airtime's expensive. And when I'm transferring this stuff back out, I've got to be able to do it in the most efficient manner possible. Now, in MDM language, we actually call this synchronization or syncing. And typically, when we sync, we'll sync data in pairs. And we'll just send really basically 2 pairs back. We'll sync and we'll say, hey, you know, what is the status of your device? What do you have? And then the device will reply back. And then we'll actually start a new session and say, you need to load these policies on. Here's your data, right? Not like accept this policy. No, you want to be on, here's data. You know, load it up just kind of that quickly and stuff. And that's how the new, what they call even 2.0 is what some people call it, MDM works. And that's really how this solution works. It's that gateway that's going to allow you that go or no go, those apps. Is that device jailbroken? Has it been rooted? Does it have a VPN client on there? You know, those type of policies is going to allow me. It'll even get, MDM can be very, very strict, right? I mean, you can do some really cool stuff with it. Like even let's say that if I'm looking at geographically, I can actually set up boundaries on my network and just say that when devices get within certain range, I want to be able to have certain actions happen, right? That if a device leaves my campus and stuff, maybe it's a company-owned device, that that it's going to issue a warning. And then if it goes out this device and stuff, it's going to disable it. It's going to lock that device out. And then if somebody takes out of this ring like it's been stolen, then it's actually going to start wiping it. And it's going to clear off the drive and actually zero that device out and turn it into a brick, right? Because the most important thing that you want to look at with any BYOD solution, no matter whose you go out there with, is you don't want any data leakage. You don't want people taking their devices that they're bringing on their network and leaking your data out to the public arena. That can be incredibly dangerous, right? I mean, you don't want to be the next person making the news headlines and saying, you know, Acme Corporation has now lost, you know, the human resources data at a coffee shop, you know, because that data is worth a lot of money. So MDM is going to give you this type of control that's going to allow you to have that level of configurability to your devices. All of them have their own differences. All of them have their own little nuances. So check them out really good. You guys know me. If you've watched Networking 101 for a while, you know I'm a big believer in open source stuff. And personally, especially when it comes to something like MDM, what I like to do is I like to read what's going on in the open source community and find out what work has already been done. You can look at OMA, Open Mobile Alliance, and get some really good information on there. It's pretty raw head stuff, right? I mean, there's some pretty meaty details in there. But there is some really nice stuff in there, like on SyncTM and stuff, that's going to explain how this process works. Understand that pretty darn good. And then when you're looking at, you know, what type of MDM providers you want out there, you understand how the standard works. And now you kind of get where, okay, now I understand what you guys are doing. I understand what the standard does here and stuff. What's your value add? You know, what's my price premium above what these other pieces are doing? And then you have a nice, really good solution, pairs everything out there, works pretty darn good.